Freaking amateur hour up in here. Actually, wait. Oh, amateur hour doesn't start for another 20 minutes. I have a confession to make. I hope you're both sitting down and not operating machinery. I have never been paid for my writing. I know. I'll give you a moment to process that. I am through and through an amateur writer. Never hath my words graced the visage of a paying customer. Probably because I use words like visage too much. You're probably asking how I made all my money. Semiconductors. Don't know what they are, don't know why people buy them, but they sure as hell buy them. This video is not about money, but rather the pursuit of writing in spite of it. The pursuit of amateur writing and the subsumption of that term into something devoid of its original meaning. I'm not here to denigrate those who seek to, or in fact do, make money off of their writing. I assume none of those people watch this channel, but nevertheless. If you've made the leap and have successfully gotten enough people to pay for your writing for you to be a professional, then you have my blessing. This video is about the people who haven't, the amateur writers. Let's start with some definitions. According to Google, the term amateur means either a person who engages in a pursuit, especially a sport, on an unpaid rather than a professional basis, or a person who is incompetent or inept at a particular activity. Geez, thanks for the confidence boost there, Google. And it's not just Google that has overwhelmingly accepted the latter definition of amateur, although Google controls everyone's thoughts, so maybe... Most of what seems to be written about amateur writing puts the term on a skills continuum. On one side you have the inept amateurs, and on the other you have the competent pros. Or competent pros writing competent prose. Which is interesting because the term professional merely professes that the person in question does the thing in question as their profession, as in they earn money from it. And I'm sure we've all encountered a professional who is far from an expert, like the dunce who fixed my roof. Professional implies that someone makes money from something, whereas in the context at least that we've talked about it, amateur implies a lack of competence. But this divides pro and amateur along two different axes. It's like saying a tomato is a fruit and a carrot is an orange thing. Yes, you've made categories, but you're dividing them for different reasons, and that makes the categories less useful. Like, how would you classify a nectarine? And in a similar but lower vitamin C content vein, how would you classify a skilled writer who doesn't make money? By the above definition, they are neither pros nor amateurs. They are the nectarines of this weird classification system that we've come up with. What if instead we divide pro and amateurs based solely on purpose? A professional's purpose is to produce money from their work, so what then is an amateur's purpose? Well, it could be argued that amateur writing's purpose is in the pursuit itself. It is an entirely free, entirely pure expression of love for the craft. The person has no other reason to do this besides the enjoyment they get from it, and there's a great freedom that comes with that. In fact, the root of the word amateur comes from the French or possibly Latin word for lover, meaning an amateur is someone who loves their craft. This does not mean that professionals don't get enjoyment from their writing or that they don't love writing. In fact, it's very difficult to make a go of writing professionally unless you are very passionate about it. But the nature of professional writing moves at least part of the focus away from the pleasure of the medium itself and into the realm of marketing and wider appeal. You are judged more by the financial and critical impact of your work rather than your enjoyment of it. That's not a bad thing, it's just a change of focus that gets thrust onto writers far too frequently. Here's a fun experiment. Go to a party, if you're someone who gets invited to parties, and tell 10 people there that you write for a hobby. Not all at once, do this one at a time or it'll seem weird. You'll probably get a vast number of them asking when you plan to get published, or explaining how difficult it is to get published, or explaining the best way to get published, or talking about how lousy it is to make a living as a writer, or talking about how much money people make as a writer. People seem to put very little value on writing beyond its potential commercial value. Even if you're working hard to level up your skills, professional writing and earning that cheddar is always construed as the ultimate goal. And that's fine. I mean, if I wasn't a semiconductor billionaire, I would probably try to get published. But there seems to be this general discomfort in the world around people who write as a hobby. So much so that we've relegated the very term meant to describe these people to mean that they are inept blunderers holding onto a pen. Or with a Google Doc open. And that's a shame, because pursuing writing purely out of enjoyment can be a wonderful thing. I wish when people heard the term amateur, that's what they thought of. Not incompetent people using dialogue tags wrong, but rather people in pursuit of something they enjoy, for the sake of enjoying it. Just like I hope you enjoyed this video. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I said that already. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I said that already. And found the advice in it useful. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can subscribe to my channel and check out all my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.